Give it to number 4
that's right.
from 4 yards out. Let's see if that's what they do. They do. Straight up the middle. Brian looks for some room, gets ahead of Steen. Somebody tries to tackle him high. Sorry, no luck there. Touchdown, Patriots. Snap on 4th down. Cole Frederick being protected. Passes it to Brian Robinson, who's wide open at the 7. Crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots. Welcome to the Hillcrest Football Review. I'm Brent Jones, of course, along with Coach Sam Adams. And Coach Adams, it wasn't a region game, but it was the big rivalry game, and it was the homecoming game. And I know that's really important to everybody, from the coaches to the team to the student body. And to beat County High is always a big thing around these parts.
Yeah, well, it lets our players and coaches too, I guess, get bragging rights for another year. And, that's always a pretty frequent topic of conversation here between Hillcrest and County High people. So it's good to be able to hold that for 12 more months.
All right, and we'll come back and we'll take a look at the highlights of that game right after this. Stick around.
The Hillcrest Huddle.
2 fakes and a pass deep and wide open is Torrin Mayhew. Makes the catch at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Patriots!
The Hillcrest Huddle. Live from Dickey's Barbecue, 69 South on Tide 102.9.
Kagan Campbell awaits the kick at his 31-yard line. Here's and it's blocked by Lakeith Crenshaw and recovered by the Patriots at the 14-yard line.
Live from Dickey's Barbecue in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on Highway 69 South in Tuscaloosa.
You got a 4-star running back in the backfield in this situation. What do? You take the snap under center, you hand it to him, let him see what he can do, and guess what? He crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots!
Your host, Brent Jones, brings you the latest on Patriots football and athletics, with interviews from head coach Sam Adams, assistant coaches, players, and more.
Cole Frederick takes the snap, hands it off to Jahi over left tackle. He spins, runs over a defender, across the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots!
Come join us live or join in the program by calling us at 349-9904 with your questions and comments. Live from Dickey's Barbecue, 69 South on Tide 102.9.
He's got some room.
Crazy about a shotgun man.
Robinson on the 52-yard run. All right, Coach, coming into the game, your team 5-0, County High at 2-3. But last year they were 0-10, so they are an improved team. And as we talk about every time, the coin toss, well, you guys end up receiving again. And we talk about that percentage of scoring on that first drive. And you made that percentage go up this time. Looked easy in the first drive.
Yeah, we had after a couple weeks where we didn't score or didn't score on the first drive, I should say. It was nice to kind of get that rolling again. This is a really efficient drive. We did a couple of things that were a little bit different than what they had previously seen. Started the game off with a little draw there to Brian Robinson. And we showed them a new formation a handful of times on this drive as well. 2-back formation with 3 receivers all on the same side, which was kind of a unique, almost unbalanced sort of set. But yeah, I was really pleased with the way we came out quick. There's Cole hitting toward Mayhew. Kind of throw it into the teeth of the blitz that we wanted to be able to take advantage of, try to slow them down a little bit. Our tempo, I thought, was really strong, particularly early in the game when we were able to stay away from penalties and stay on time down distance-wise. I thought our guys did a really good job of getting up and getting on the ball and getting it snapped in a hurry.
It's good to see you running between the tackles so effectively in this drive.
Yeah, that was definitely the best that has gone for us all year long. Hopefully that's a trend that continues in that direction. That in order to get what we want to get out of the season, we're going to have to be able to run the ball between the tackles for some success, and we really did it the other night.
Capped it off there with a 4-yard touchdown run from Brian.
Yeah, we got everybody blocked cleanly in the middle, and the last guy on the goal line is always the one that's left for Brian, and I was able to push him back in the end zone.
So Brad described it as just like a hot butter through knife. Hot knife through butter, I should say. Get that right.
Yeah.
That first drive was just total domination. And then your defense came out strong, too, in this first drive.
Yeah, defense played really well all night. Gave up a handful of plays that obviously we'd like to clean up. And we had some penalties that hurt us on offense, but from the coach's perspective, those penalties are definitely unacceptable, and we got to get those cleaned up. But once the ball was snapped, I believe this was the best that we played probably. There's another, what was called as an inside run, and they were bringing a lot of their defenders under right there to try to make it bounce, and we were able to capitalize on that. And here, this was one of Cole's actually better plays of the game from my perspective. He came down low to his third read on that one when they covered up the first one, or 1.5, I guess you should say. He had a chance to kind of get a shot down the field, but I liked the way he was patient and just really took the short throw there. And that was a big third down. They went to they played some coverage on us, which I wasn't really expecting, and were able to slip another inside run on them, get it down there close, and then Cole Frederick bangs it in on the quarterback sneak for the touchdown.
Now these first 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Here we are with 4:10 remaining in the first quarter. This was looking like it was going to be another one of those games like many of the other games prior to that have been, with your team jumping out to this enormous lead at halftime. But County kind of came alive here in the second quarter, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, they're a much improved team, and Coach Sessions does a good job with them. I think their mentality is headed in the right direction. So we knew at some point they were gonna fight back. Part of the reason that we did slow down scoring wise was self-inflicted as well. So there's some shared responsibility in that. I believe in this next drive, or one of the next drives anyway, we ended up with I think 5 penalties on that drive alone, which was out of character for our guys. And it's hard to score if you have to overcome all that.
Right, I think it is this drive. You drive down the field pretty well, and then you get inside the 20, and then you start going in the other direction.
Yeah. Here was we'll come back on the sideline. I believe that was on the third down as well. Hit DQ offered for a first down. That was a big completion for us. And that's toward Mayhew again, right up the seam. Moving the ball into their territory and into a spot where we can start being a little bit more aggressive and taking some shots down the field. There's Cole dumping it off to Brian Robinson, and that's one of the parts of his game that has really come along, just the willingness to check the ball down and not necessarily force it down the field. And there's Brian again, another inside zone run that was really successful for us the other night. He did a good job of pressing it in there and making the proper cut.
Here's where the laundry parade begins.
Yeah, had a couple false starts in there, and one of them was on our center for bobbing his head too violently, I guess. There we get a holding call on a receiver screen outside that backed us up again. So we're going in the wrong direction here for quite a few snaps in a row. There was a false start on the running back. That was I don't know, debatable, maybe the best way to put that penalty.
The RPO there.
Yeah, we've been pretty successful on those so far. We run a great deal of RPOs, to be honest with you. Some just the kind of typical zone with the bubble, which is what that was. We run some others with a outside run play combined with a short down the field route from our slot receiver that we hit torn on once or twice the other night.
Now, did you intentionally take that penalty right there to get into better punting position?
Yeah, we tried to. I think they actually ended up declining it on us, so they didn't let us get the yardage back. But we were kind of in that no man's land again. It kind of burns me up to have to punt from the inside the 40-yard line. But if you're third and whatever it was, 20-ish yards from the 30, that's tough to pick that up.
Right.
So we're just kind of playing the odds, backing them up here and trying to make them earn it all the way down the field, and then we kind of let them off the hook. We miss a tackle there on a simple screen that our guys see every week in practice. I mean, we run the exact same sort of play, and we let them switch field position on us.
Yeah, they threatened on this particular drive.
They did. They did a good job of getting to the quarterback. I thought their quarterback played a really good game. He took some good shots in there. I was able to move around the pocket and buy time like he just did on that play. I thought he played a really, really good game for him, and made a lot of plays that got him into scoring position. They didn't always get points out of them, but
this was a tough one for them right here, as they got it inside the 5, but then Had it called back on a hold.
Yeah. I know it's always frustrating when you get a big play like that and get it backed up. We know that ourselves firsthand.
But good news for your team.
Yeah. Here they get another good shot down on the seam ball with the pass interference tacked on with it, or not tacked on. I guess you have to decline that in high school, but they get it right back down there inside the 10 again. Try to go to a little wildcat sort of set with the running back taking the snap there. Try to run a little power read. Our guys were really on our toes for that one.
Sails over the head.
They tried the same little concept that they scored on against us last year, and luckily we had a little different results this time.
Big play here.
Yeah, that was a really good one. They were trying to hit a little stretch play in the boundary, and our guys answered the bell out there. And that was a big momentum swing in the game. They missed field goal there, allowed us to get the ball back after they had a really good scoring opportunity. At first and goal on about the 5, and they came away with no points.
Yeah, you got to be happy with your defense anytime they hold them to no points and the ball's down that close to the goal line.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a near miss there on offense with one of their defensive linemen almost picking off a screen pass. That would have been pretty unfortunate for us. But another drive here where we kind of get some things rolling for a little while, and we do get one more penalty on this drive that eventually puts us behind the sticks. And whether you're playing your rival or a little league team or whoever, you make that many penalties in a game, you're going to have a hard time consistently putting together drives. So.
Nice completion far across the field on that play.
Yeah, Tab did a really good job getting behind the corner, and I didn't know if Cole was going to be able to get that one on him or not, just being such a long throw. But it was really good.
Picked up, recovered by Johnny. Good break for you right there as well.
Yeah, it ended up bouncing right back up to us. Cole broke his hands a little too early on the when he started moving around the pocket, and their defender did a good job of chopping it out. And there we get an eligible receiver downfield. We had kind of an unfortunate circumstance on the RPO play, and it was a good call. And then the blocked field goal, we actually had both of our wing players on our field goal and extra point team got hurt, and both left the game. So we were playing a couple guys in there that had no experience doing that in a varsity game, and it showed 2 times.
Wow. All right, we had started getting a little bit chippy here at this point.
Yeah.
That kind of thing happens in a rivalry game.
It does. It does. I'm glad our players were able to stay calm for the most part, and keep out of the fray, I guess you'd say.
I tell you, Kagan's exciting back there, but he scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
Scooping those grounders are hard.
Yeah, catching punts off the hop is not. You can't really make a living doing that.
Right.
That's a tough deal. Here we got it back in sort of a 2-minute type situation. We didn't exactly have our foot on the gas, like we would if we're going for a touchdown to win the game or something like that. Being so far backed up, we tried to, stay somewhat conservative with it. We're really just trying to get it into position where we could take one shot in the end zone. And we were able to do that. And, Brian was really close to hauling this one in the end zone.
Yeah.
I believe he actually got 2 hands on the ball in some traffic. And, we tell him if he can get 2 hands on it to just try to reel it in. And he was close. So we got to accomplish what we wanted to, besides the scoring the touchdown part.
Right.
We got it into a scoring position. Cole did a really good job of buying time and just laying the ball up in the air. And once you get the ball in the air in those situations, you never know what'll happen. We had a chance to tip it up and make a play.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, so 14-0 at the half, but the first quarter and the second quarter, totally different stories. And at this point, it really looked like County High was ready to make a ball game of this, and they did in the third quarter as well.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
There you see the homecoming queen.
We were disappointed offensively, mainly in the first half, just with the penalties that had stopped drives. We had run, I believe, 48 plays at halftime, which is extremely high for high school games. That was good for Tuscaloosa County that they were able to make us snap the ball that many times without giving up that many points.
Right.
But, we felt like most of our woes were self-inflicted. They tried to come back to the bubble that they hurt us with earlier in the game, just to the other side. This was really one of the few plays in the game where we had a hard time tackling. Our tackling was much improved from the week before, and that we'd expressed some frustration about that. And for the most part the other night, we got them down on the first try, but there were obviously some exceptions on that.
They keep hurting themselves too.
Yeah. This was an extremely long game, time-wise.
It really was. A lot of penalties.
There was a
both
lot
sides.
of penalties, yeah.
A lot of discussions by the referees as to what they specifically wanted to do.
There were a whole lot of discussions by the referees. Yeah, that took quite a while. This was a good job by their punt coverage team. Killed it inside the 5 on us and got down there and downed it. And, that's tough. That's a tough deal when you got to go, 97 yards.
Right.
There we were able to move it a little bit here, get ourselves a little bit of room. Torn Mayhew with a little jet sweep around the edge, and then Brian back with another inside run to get us a first down and really get us some good breathing room.
Right. Completing it to Torn Mayhew with his finish.
They're Cole and Torn hooking up again on just a simple little.
That was a common theme throughout the night.
Yeah. The Torn 14 catches. That was a pretty good night.
I'd say so. He was our player of the week.
It's well deserved. There's Cole again, just taking a little easy toss that looks like really nothing, but it's a free 5 yards. We can that allows us to actually be more aggressive calling the game if he's willing to check the ball down like that.
Right.
So we don't feel like the shots are all or nothing now. We got some safety valves under there that he's willing to throw at this time. So
you take what they give you, right?
Yeah. We did feel like we kind of missed an opportunity on third down there. Cole probably could have squeezed one in that he didn't feel good about. So we punted the ball away. But with that drive starting back inside the 5-yard line, we really switched field position on them. And here we get a PI, which was a good call. They tried to double move us over there, a little hitch and go. Or
Kagan just bit a little bit on that, didn't he?
Yeah, and in that kind of scenario, sometimes it's not bad to just knock them out of bounds on that. And that was really, they had a good pass concept against the coverage that we had been showing, and you combine that with some poor tackling and poor angles to the ball, and that was how they got their points on the night.
Oh, this was a heads-up play right here on this kickoff.
Yeah, it's Trey Ross did a really good job just getting it and going directly upfield. So that was encouraging to see. He responded when he got the opportunity to. Trey's going to be a really good player for us. And we got in some one back with some wide splits for the receivers.
Torrin did a great job staying in bounds there. We thought he was out at first.
Yeah, their player had a chance to really get him out and probably didn't do as good a job as he could have. And Torrin made the most out of it, stayed in bounds, and got down there inside the 1 yard line.
So at this point now, putting it up 27-7, that pretty much put it out of reach, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought their body language kind of changed a little bit at that point, and ours did too. I felt like early on in the game when everything was going our way, we kind of had a certain swagger about us, and then that left for about a quarter and a half.
Right.
But it was good to get it back.
The handoff to Evans, looking for room on the right side. None there. The defense, after they scored that one touchdown, your defense really decided to say enough of that and shut them down the rest of the game.
Yeah, they did a really good job here. They tried a little little gadget. Yeah, they're trying to make it look like they were running off the field to bring their punt team on, and then
it looked to me like if he had just kept it and run around the right side, he had a much better chance. He had a one-on-one there with Lakeith Crenshaw and probably could have picked it up.
Yeah, maybe would have had a chance. But that gave us the ball in some scoring position again. Cole does another good job when the original route wasn't there, and protection got a little hot on him. He did a really good job of checking it down to the back again. And this was the one that really kind of put the dagger into him there. We hit Brian on a little wheel route out of the backfield, and had a good matchup with an outside linebacker that we felt good about, and were able to capitalize on it.
27-7. So that was the final touchdown of the night, making it 34-7.
Oh, we've got one more.
Oh wait, that was the 27-7. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. here we kind of let them off the hook a little bit on this kickoff coverage. You know, you don't want to allow the guy to reverse field and pick up yardage like that. They have one more opportunity down here where they're close to getting a score on us, but we turn them away on a 4th down later on.
Campbell sizes it up at the 30.
Yeah, on this 4th down play right here, Kagan was probably better off not catching that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much better field position by just knocking it down.
Absolutely, I was glad that one got batted down. They're torn, lost a shoe on that one.
Quick pitch out to the right side. Corey Owens in the ballgame.
Their tab gets in the way and gets run over slow out there on the outside, which ended up being a pretty good block and allowed Corey to get the ball down inside the 5, and then hand it off to Jahi Brown. It's good to get him a score.
There you go. That's the final touchdown and your final score, 34-7. So all in all, a good performance. You feel good. You said earlier you think this might have been your best overall performance. Is that right?
Once the ball was snapped, I think it could have been, which is kind of an odd thing to hear from a coach, I guess. But I think our perspective is pretty often different from the fans' perspective.
Right.
And I think part of the reason why I'm encouraged about it is because we were able to successfully run the ball between the tackles, which we'd struggled with throughout the year, and we still were able to hit a lot of quick game throws and hit some throws down the field, and our tackling improved significantly on defense. And so, obviously we got to clean up the penalties and get those out of there. But once the ball was snapped the other night, I thought we probably played our best game of the year.
Well, that's good to hear. You want to hear progress from week to week as you work toward the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. And we'll return. We'll take a little preview of this coming week's game against Bryant right after this. Stick around.
Here's Reynolds. Kicks the ball away. Number 32, Buda Baker, takes it on his 30. Watch this guy run in the open field, and nobody's going to catch him. Buda Baker, 70 yards to the house. Bellevue on top first.
Welcome back to the Hillcrest Football Review. Coach Adams, big win over County High in the books. You got the Bryant Stampede coming to Roy Johnson Stadium Friday night, and that one's actually bigger than the County High game because, as we know, it's a region game. And Bryant, although they're not quite as good as most people were expecting them to be this year, they're still a much improved overall program. And last year gave you a tough, unexpected but tough fight.
Yeah, last year it kind of came down to the wire. We jumped up on them pretty quickly. I believe we were up 21-0 maybe, and then they came back and made a game, and we ended up beating them by 1 touchdown. Our guys know that if we don't play well, then it can be a tight game, just like it was last year.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be hard getting their attention.
All right, and we hope you'll join us Friday night at Roy Johnson Stadium for that one. Thanks for joining us again, Coach. Thank you.
Hand off to Jahi Brown, and he walks into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Patriots extending the lead to 33-7 here with 7:27 remaining in the ball game.